All right, guys, I'm back with a new segment, and this is back to revisit the American legalization, where we're at with things. I've done a couple videos on this in the past. I just wanted to update with some of the numbers. Currently, we're closing in on quarter four. We just entered quarter four of 2021, and we're expected to end the year with 2021 cannabis sales reaching around $13 billion in USA, and we're expecting that to grow to over $20 billion by 2025. So that's, a 4-year stretch. We're gonna go, $7-8 billion, and we're at 13 now. So we're close to about 50% double up, and that's what we've talked about in previous videos. I wanted to share a few other facts though. Obviously, the U.S. isn't fully federalized for recreational or medical. It's probably getting on the cusp of becoming decriminalized. If it hasn't, the other states are actually decriminalizing it left and right. So a combined 38 states have opened things up either for recreational or medical cannabis and or both. In between all that, a combination of 43% of Americans now have access to recreational cannabis, and 72% of Americans now have access to medical cannabis throughout the country. So those are big numbers. That's staggering. So 3/4 of the country now have access to it, and that's big, and that's medical. As far as that goes, we're having a lot of other developments in the medical front too, which I'll talk about in other future videos. That being said, we know we have room to grow. We have at least 50% margin to grow in the next 4 years. Extrapolate that back, we're looking at 10, 12, 14% growth per year. That being said, we're not going to see that growth concentrated in a single state such as California or Nevada or any of these states. It's going to be spread out amongst the country. So some of that supply and demand and revenue is actually concentrated in some of these states for so long, such as Oregon, Washington, even California. And now that it's spreading out amongst the country, we're getting suppliers and producers popping up in Oklahoma, Michigan, or soon to see New York, and a bunch of other states throughout the country. So this is loosening up the supply strangle that was on only the few states that were supplying it. So now there's more options on the market. More states have their independent production, and it's opened up legally so people can actually produce it and be out in the open doing it, and not hide and have to skirt the system. So unfortunately, with federal prohibition, we're denied entering into the global market of cannabis. And it's a shame because America is on the leading forefront of cannabis innovation, of packaging, sales, distribution, production, cultivation. We're leading on all of that. And the unfortunate, ironic part is we're in our own bubble. We can't share that with the rest of the world directly. And what's gonna happen is the world's gonna come out here, visit us, tour our facilities, hire our people, bring our consultants out. The rest of the world's gonna build their infrastructures off the American way instead of the Americans being able to participate as well. So it's unfortunate, but I'm glad that we're at least being able to pioneer the industry, and we're on the forefront and the cutting edge of such a huge influx of a new industry that's carrying in a new era and being able to support and create these new economies, supply the trickle-down effect to all these people from higher up to the employees and the people that make everything go around and all their families in between. The cannabis market is opening up tons of jobs, and couldn't have used it at a better time with the economy and the stimulus and all this stuff. We could really use these jobs on the market. So cannabis is helping in a lot of ways, and we're fortunate to have it in America. And it's a shame that the archaic laws are strangling innovation, strangling business growth and reach. And we have a lot of great things that we could be sharing with the world, but unfortunately the world has to come cherry pick them from us and then bring it to the world themselves. So hopefully things change, and let's hope for the best, and maybe we can participate in this global market. But until then, America's doing well at churning forward. We're growing at a steady rate, and we're developing our infrastructure and our supply chain more and more efficient, really getting that dialed in and fine-tuned, because the cannabis supply chain is not easy. It's not simple. It hasn't been tried, true, and tested. There's a lot of variables, and it's an evolving process. So we're on the cutting edge and we're on the forefront, but that also means that we're dealing with all the headache, the bullshit, the innovation, and we're refining it, creating those systems, creating the formulas so that other people can follow them step by step and not have to take the risk and the loss and the headache, and they can just operate and just, clock in their numbers. So obviously by 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years down the line, we're going to see this become a streamlined, regulated, open industry where, trade can freely happen. Consumers have access to the best and, quality price stuff, and the producers of it are being taken care of. It's going to become an industry that we see, with any other commodity. So other than something coming along to change that and restructure the way that the economics of cannabis works, that's the only thing I see changing that trajectory. And it's a very interesting thing to talk about and even fantasize or theorize about and understand what to expect in the future and what the next 5 to 10 years have in store for us in cannabis. So thanks for watching. Next segment coming up is the market analysis. It's going to be some up-to-the-date information. That way, if you're in the market, especially in the California market, you can make your decisions and take the information we put out here same week that its videos are dropped. That way you can real-time information, try to make your market decisions. Hopefully that can help give you some insight into the markets. And if you want to check out more of these news segments, click the link above and it'll take you to the playlist of them.